What is up? This is the Chig coming at you with another Diablo 4 video. Today we're going to be talking about the method I'm going to use to level up, which is what I think is going to be the best, but it's got a lot less steps than a lot of the other videos. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, we're giving away a copy of Diablo 4 as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, or another video game of your choice. And don't forget to come hang out over on twitch.tv/thechig on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday from 7 to 9. Anyway, let's hop right into it. So I just kind of was goofing around earlier today and recorded a little bit of like what I was doing. So the first step is going to be starting over here. We're going to start at Kiovashad and go down to Yelesna, because the first thing I think we should do is just go over here to Dead Man's Dredge and do this dungeon until we are high enough level to go to the first stronghold. That is what I was trying to say. So strongholds are the best XP, bar none. We're going to start out, since we're going to have all of our altars of Lilith already. We're going to have the game complete already. This is assuming that you've already done those things and did your due diligence to be ready for the season. So we're going to start out on World Tier 2. We're just going to decimate. We're going to level up quick. And we are going to hang out over here and run Dead Man's Dredge until we are level 15, 17. 15 if you've got some good items, 17 if you don't. And the reason being, once we hit that level, we are able to go start doing the first stronghold that is good for XP, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. But the reason we do Dead Man's Dredge, or the reason I enjoy doing Dead Man's Dredge, is because there are so many guaranteed elites in there. It is an Animus dungeon, so you roll through, you get the Animus, you open the door. The next area, you have a handful of guaranteed elites, and the last elite you get is from freeing the last slave. So doing the completion of this dungeon slows you down just a teeny tiny bit. The most effective way to do it is to clear the Animus guys, log out, log back in, clear the Animus guys, log out, log back in, clear the Animus guys. That's going to get you the fastest XP, but finishing this dungeon doesn't make it substantially slower, so that's going to be kind of my 2 pennies on why that's good. There's really no downfall to this. You just run over, grab the Yelesna waypoint, run right on over to the dungeon, start grinding it. You can knock it out. If the servers are too busy to log out and log back in, which is a real possibility, I will leave a link to my other leveling guide where I show you how to do this without leaving and coming back into the game. So when you're going through, you have the opportunity with this particular dungeon. There is a event that spawns right beside it, and that giant lake that always has a giant amount of density, and there is a cellar over there on the other side of the lake. So run out, go do one of those things, come back, enough time's elapsed for the dungeon to reset. Anyway, let me find where we are at in this video. Let me hop around. Let me show you where we're at. All right, so here is somewhere I'm going to show where this is at on the map, and I need to do that because you guys really need to know. All right, so right here. Well, let's go back a little bit. All right, so right here is the Onyx Stronghold. You can go here at level 15 or 17, right? So you unlock Ked Bardu just from having the game complete. So you're going to teleport over to Ked Bardu. I'm going to run down to Onyx Hold. The cool thing about Onyx Hold, when you get down here, is it's set up in a circle, right? So the reason it's so good, you don't kill the boss here, but you just run around in a circle. There are a guaranteed handful of elites. You kill all the elites. You do all the objectives. You kill the last lieutenant, which is in a door over down at the bottom right. You'll see it while I'm sitting here rambling about it. But the reason this one is so good is because of how it's laid out. It's a literal circle. You come in, you run around the circle, you kill all of the mobs, you go back out, you back out of the game, you reset the game, and as long as you don't touch the altar after you kill the boss, if you decide to kill the boss, which I would not do, as long as you don't touch the altar, you can do this on repeat, which is going to be the fastest XP to get you to the next area, which we're going to do from 25 if you've got decent gear and a good build, 27 if you don't, which is going to be the Temple of Rot. But we're going to keep talking about this for a second. The cool thing about this one, and Rax says this in one of his videos, is you get a lot of items at the Onyx Hold. I think he said you average 10 yellows or higher per run, which is insane. So if you ever need a little bump in your gear so you can get a little better, run somewhere else, you can go ahead and pop into that and do this a couple of times to get some drops, upgrade some stuff. It's just kind of cool to know that you can do that. Something else cool about this, not only do you get the guaranteed bandit elites, there's always 3 of these cages that are cage beasts that always have an elite in them as well. So I always break those down, grab the elite, kill him. But the reason this part is so good is because you can just run around in a circle. And here, like I said a few minutes ago, you're just going to do this until you're 25 to 27, and then we're going to go to what is literally the best XP in the game. Rax also covers this, but his downfall, or what he says about it as it being its downfall, is it doesn't have the drops, and he is correct with that. It does not have the drops. It doesn't drop nearly as many items as Onyx Hold. So what you could do is you could bounce between them. You could run one to get some gear and then go run the other one for XP. The XP is not super worse here. If you like this one, you can just run around and keep doing this, but it is noticeably better to do the Temple of Rot just because there's more mobs, there's it's more condensed, and I'm going to show some footage of it here in a minute. And I've done all of this on a level 30, well, I'm doing 31 here in just a second, a level 30 minion necromancer, just to show you that it doesn't matter what you're playing, you can do whatever you want, but this is just a really effective way to level. So let me go ahead and see if I can find, okay, so right here, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video back a little bit because I want to show you the map. Okay, so something about this, you're in Kedbardu, right? So here's the Onyx Watchtower. Okay, so Temple of Rot is right here. The problem is the closest waypoint to it is this one down here, which is not one you unlock. I don't remember the name of this one. I hover it here in just a second, but it's the closest one to the Temple of Rot. So what I did, because I like farming open world stuff, is I went from Onyx Hold over to the Fields of Hatred and then down to this waypoint. Let's see what this waypoint's called. So there's where the Temple of Rot is. Bang. Alright, so Gerendai. I would highly recommend, instead of running straight from the Temple of Rot, or straight from Onyx Hold down to the Temple of Rot, if you don't want to get the Fields of Hatred waypoint, to run straight from Onyx Hold down to Gerendai and pick up that waypoint. That way you've got a close waypoint to the Temple of Rot when you want to pop out and back into the game, when you want to do this, when you want to do that, if you need to go to town for something, because your bags will fill up eventually. But just keep doing these things. Do not complete the Onyx Hold until you are done there. Once you're done there, however, you can go ahead and kill the last boss and activate it. When I say done there, I mean don't do it before level 27 unless you're real strong at level 25 and you're about to go over to the Temple of Rot. The reason being, you get a waypoint and you unlock a dungeon there. So after you're done there and you go down to Gerendai and you go down and you start farming the Temple of Rot, it's super easy, as you can see here. So I just showed you where it was at. So what you do here, the objective is to slay the cannibal champions. And there's 5 of them. So you just go around in a circle and you kill all the mobs, including these 5 elites. not only are these 5 elites always there, there are sometimes, quite frequently, more than just those 5. As you can see, these guys are just, the density here is insane, and you just get to run around in a circle and kill them. It's really condensed. It's really easy to navigate. There's really nothing you have to worry about here other than killing the mobs. So if you're not familiar with how strongholds work, they always scale to 2 above your level. So once you get here, the mobs are always going to be giving you a little bit of multiplicative XP because they're always going to be 2 levels above you. And this is where you're going to live. You live here until you are level 50. And then once I say level 50, I mean until you can complete the capstone dungeon. I think Rack said something about speedrunners completing the capstone around level 35. I personally am not even going to attempt the capstone until I'm level 45 and have a decent set of gear and have some of my aspects and stuff set up. I'm not even going to try because I am not skilled enough at the game with many of these classes to be able to kill that final boss. I have no delusions that I'm going to be able to do that at level 35. But the cool thing about Temple of Rot is once you get into the next level, so once you get into Nightmare 3, or World Tier 3, I'm sorry, the temple still scales on its own. The temples have their own scaling system. So you'll be here, you'll be level 37, you'll be level 40, you'll be level 45, and the monsters are still only going to be 2 levels above you. They don't scale with the rest of the world, they scale with themselves. So the sooner you can get into World Tier 3 and start getting your things together to get to level 50, the faster you're going to get to 50, right? But once you get there and you're doing that and you're running this, you're going to get the 100% XP gains from World Tier 3 instead of just the 20 from World Tier 2. And then you do the same thing once you get ready to go to World Tier 4. Once you can kill the capstone boss in World Tier 3, which is a pain in the butt, so I'm not even going to try him early. But once you can kill him and you can go into World Tier 4, you can do the same thing as you're getting ready to do those nightmare dungeons, or if you do need to farm a couple pieces of ancestral gear before you roll over in and start trying to do nightmare dungeons in World Tier 4, you can always come back here and work on this to help you farm gear, to help you farm XP, to help you get Paragon points. You can always come back here until you decide you're ready to finish it, to use it as a resource for loot and XP and all of those things. Other than that, I mean, that's it. That's the TLDR. Once you hit level 50 and you're strong enough, you do Nightmare Dungeons until you're ready to roll over into Nightmare 4, or World Tier 4, I'm sorry. Once you roll over into World Tier 4, you still leave this available so you can do it if you need it, but once you're strong enough to do Nightmare Dungeons in World Tier 4, that's when I would recommend finishing this, because it's going to help out your renown, it's going to get all of your stuff and help you get those last couple of talent points and last couple of Paragon points. Anyway, that's it. That's the 3 steps to getting to level 100 this season. Obviously, Nightmare Dungeons is a step, but it's not a step in this set. So you can throw in Nightmare Dungeons as you want. As far as that goes, you can do this by itself until you're ready to do Tier 4 Nightmare Dungeons, right? Like, you can do that. You can do what you want to do. I'll be coming out with another video for those of you who don't want to do resets, for those of you who don't want to do X, Y, and Z. But for the most part, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is going to get me there the fastest. This is going to be letting me finish up what I need to be doing. Oh, look, my timing on my my other recording worked out just about perfectly. Anyway, till I see you guys in the next one, hope to see you guys in Sanctuary, and we'll catch you soon.